Okay, this is a very, very exciting video we're going to do today. That's why I brought three people here. Okay, it's going to take all three of us to show you how cool this new tool is. So first, I want to introduce everybody. I have our growth strategist, Ariel Williams.
Hello.
And then I have our senior client services manager, Megan Block Brewer.
Heyo.
And our creative director, Jonathan Moore. Awesome. Okay, so today we're going to show you a new tool called Relume. And Ariel, you've been using Relume the most, so why don't you give us like the TLDR of what Relume is and why it's so cool?
So Relume is a pretty awesome platform. It is a platform that allows you to utilize, honestly, AI software to build out sitemaps and wireframes in minutes.
Yeah. So wait a minute, Austin, you were talking about AI and how bad it was for Google a couple of weeks ago. Yes. You have to know the context to use the tools, and we will get into the right context for these tools. You want to work more efficiently, more effectively, but you don't want to strip and create, and we'll show you how we'll make sure that you don't do that utilizing this process. So first, I got to tee up Megan, who beyond being an amazing member of Team Attack, is also an entrepreneur on the side and runs a wedding photography business. We are going to redesign your wedding photography business today. How's that sound?
Perfect. It's a classic case of a cobbler's child doesn't have shoes because it desperately needs it. I own a wedding photography business with my business partner. We have been in business for 9 years, and we primarily focus 100% on weddings, and we do that on the weekends. We live just about an hour north of Metro Detroit, so we service pretty much all of Michigan. We try to take a couple traveling gigs throughout the year, so we will travel wherever our clients are getting married, but pretty much focus 100% in Michigan and Metro Detroit area specifically.
Okay. Ariel, do you need any more information to start showing us the magic?
No, that's it.
All right. Start sharing your screen.
All righty. Okay. So here we are. We are currently on Relume. So the first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go launch. And it's going to take me to the dashboard. Right here, I'm going to create a new project. And I am going to title the project, well, I guess after putting in the prompt. Here we go. There we go. So this is currently what I have. Megan, does this look good? We're just going to do 1 to 5 pages. Something really simple.
Hold on. So
and
this is, I just for the audience, we had this is one. This was after all those things that Megan said, we brought it down to one sentence. It's a new website. This company, a wedding photography business located in Michigan.
Pretty much.
All right.
That's it.
Let's build the sitemap.
And then we are going to generate a sitemap. So right now what it's doing is it's putting together everything it would think would be needed that would be beneficial for her site. So right here, it's building out what the home page should look like. It's going to build out, once it builds out the home page, now we're going to also ask for it to generate the empty pages. So it said an about us, a portfolio, a contact, and a project. So the project page that you see here is going to be a duplicate. So it's just saying if someone should click on your portfolio and want to expand more, this is the template you would build out of for all the other projects. So it's building out all the pages for this website.
Wow. And if you look at it, it really is recognizing what this specific business needs, right? You know, because we have to talk about social proof, right? And so a testimonial section, that's perfect for a wedding photographer. But also, you're going to get judged. And if your target audience, I assume, Megan, even if they're like, well, she's the most lovely person I've ever met, they're also going to want to see that your work is really good. So that gallery is going to be super important, right? And so it's really cool that this tool can just create this. And essentially, we now have sections for an entire website. Okay.
Yes.
What's the next step?
So naturally, I always just try to title it because this will make it easier when I send it off to the designers, what the project name is. So I'm just going to make sure the title is correct right here. And then from there, I just make sure everything looks good. If say, for example, I want to add something, like I'm like, man, I really want to add something here. I can always choose to add like a section, a nav bar, a footer, hero, whatever I like. If I'm like, I like the feature section, but I want something else in between these two. That is another option I can do right from this side. So I can add a benefits section, an about, a CTA if there's not enough CTAs being shown throughout the site. So that's pretty cool as well. Then from there,
also add a section for the blog because that's big on my site.
Sure.
Oh, see, and the perfect example of how to use a tool like this. It gets you started, but you have to customize it. Even when it shoots you copy, you got it. I've always said that it's so much easier to edit a bad paragraph and make it your own than stare at a blank page, right? So that's a great call out, Megan, because when you're working on something like this just gets you started and gets you moving. And look how easy it is to add a blog section. Wow.
Mm-hmm. So we add a blog section right above the CTA. If it's something that you want to move, you're like, you know what, I'd really love it before the gallery. Something we can just pull, drag, move up, wherever you think it's best. For this particular one, we'll just leave it there right before the CTA. And then from here, we just double check. Of course, we go through and we say, hey, is there anything that's missing that we would want added for this section? I don't really see anything that would be missing, just for the sake of time. And then all we're going to do here is literally just click View Wireframe. And this is where the magic begins to happen. So when I click over, it starts literally everything you saw on the sitemap. It starts plugging and playing everything in here for us. And not only is it building it for a desktop version, it's also building it for a mobile version as well. So keep that in mind. Say, for example, I'm collaborating with Megan and she's like, you know, I really don't like how this style looks. Can we do something else? Well, once I click on it, I can just click Replace Component. And I can show her different options, different layout options that can go there instead if she doesn't like this particular design for that section.
Yeah, let's do it. Can we do it at the top section? Can we have like a big hero, like image or movie, something like that at the top?
So something like this?
Yeah.
So we just click on that and it just updates it. So it tells the designer, hey, this is either going to be a slideshow, a carousel, or a video, or a big image that will just be placed here. Okay, so now this is where I am going to get this all teed up to send over to Jonathan. So this is where I'm going to do export. I'm going to do export to Figma right here. And then from here, it's going to verify that you have the plugin installed. In my case, I do. So I click Install Plugin. And then it's going to take me right into Figma where it's just going to verify and make sure everything is there. So it's slowly coming about. Connect Relume to Figma so that it's basically just sending what's over there over here. Right here, it already has my project, Mulberry and Sage. I'm going to click and say that's the one that I want. I want to add the wireframe. I can also add the sitemap, but for this circumstance, as the designer, what he's going to need is the wireframe. So I'm going to add wireframe. It's going to adding to canvas. And now what you're going to begin to see is it's just going to start dragging everything in the background.
So, from here, it's easy to, if you have a brand, the wireframe for each page, we've got this awesome nav that's built out, everything on mobile. And at this point, and then in the copy, again, like it's basic AI copy, but it's right. Megan, when you're looking at this and you're imagining this being your new website, what are you thinking?
I think I would have to hire some more team members to add a clean section. But aside from that, it looks really great. Looking at it through the lens of a bride and a groom, to say, we'd want to obviously lead with our images because that's their entire intent for visiting our site. So just being very image forward while also keeping best SEO practices in the back of our mind while doing so is really key for that.
And so, and for the spirit of the video, we wanted to get something from Relume to Figma and then be able to, talk through that. But you probably spend much more time in that collaboration phase with Ariel if in under a different circumstance, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, just little things like I know that I have very specific font that we typically use, colors and logos and those type of things. Yeah, we would want to definitely revisit some of that and get that nailed down before it would go to design. But this is a great starting off point.
Okay. And Jonathan, so let's say you fill all this out, you get all the right colors in, you get the right imagery. Then what? What can we do now? I mean, I know for us, a lot of times we just have a Figma file, and depending on the platform that our customer wants, we're able to just have them develop from there. But there's some really cool shortcuts with this too, isn't there?
Yes, and we can actually import this into Webflow and turn it into a live site. So we can go into Webflow, we can import all of this, we can style it in Webflow if we don't style it in Figma. And then we can actually export the code, and that can be used for anything really, even in like WordPress sites. That code can be implemented.
Wow. So the speed in which it takes to build a website is absolutely going to be changing. Relume is such a game changer for the wireframe process, getting it over to Figma, and then being able to, once you design something like this, being able to get it up almost instantaneously. Is that fair? I mean, I know there's a little bit of customization you're going to need with Webflow, but certainly when you convert it to the HTML, I think it's crazy. It's crazy where things are going. But I mean, just here in a few minutes, we've been able to build a wireframe for Megan's website, and now we're going to be able to, design it and get it online quite quickly. So this is an awesome tool, big time game changer. And thank you guys so much for showing everybody exactly what it is and why it's great. Thanks so much, gang.